The invisible tax. Emergent action is needed to rein in inflation as people face income losses, medical costs. The pandemic's second wave may have succeeded, but hopes of a smooth rebound in the economy in tandem with easing restrictions remain muddled, with the inflation numbers for May compounding the problem. The soaring pace of rising prices, both retail and wholesale, in the month that saw widespread lockdown like restrictions, has come as a negative surprise. Inflation based on the wholesale price index is reckoned to have hit a 25-year record high of nearly 13%, while retail inflation touched a 6-month high of 6.3%, while runaway fuel prices that include high exclusive duties and taxes were a key factor in driving up both the inflation indices. They were not the only ones at work. Retail inflation in food hit a 6-month high of 5% from barely 2% in April, with the pulses and eggs as well as edible oils leading the surge. Fuel and light inflation hit 11.6%, the highest in over 9 years, and no respite is in sight of this front as pump prices from petrol raised past 100 rupees a litre in even more parts of the country this month. Diesel has also crossed the century mark in Rajasthan's Sri Ganganagar, where freight costs add up on top of state and central taxes. Even if one were to discount food and fuel prices, core inflation has crossed the 6% mark for the first time in 31 months and is estimated at 6.6%, reacting to the April retail inflation print of 4.3% after averaging a steep 6.2% through 2020 to 21. The RBI governor had remarked earlier this month that it brought some relief and elbow room for sticking with growth supportive policy. If anything, May's inflation prints leave no such room for maneuver, though the bank's Monetary Policy Committee may not switch away from its dovish policy. No further easing of interest rates can be expected at these price levels. Most economists expect inflation to remain higher than the average 5.1% estimated by the central bank for this year. If the government wants the RBI to persist with its accommodative approach to facilitate growth, it must take some actions of its own to curb price rise, including meaningful cuts in fuel taxes that the RBI governor has been advocating since February. So far, it has only obfuscated the issue with arguments ranging from the state should cut taxes first to let's bring petroleum products under GST, and the latest claim by the petroleum minister, who admitted that the prices are problematic but the government is saving money to spend on welfare schemes and buying vaccines. For a population already reeling from job and income losses and higher medical costs since the pandemic's onset, the persistently high inflation is untenable. No welfare schemes can offset its disproportionately adverse impact on the poor. Bracing for a threat. India must be alive to the dangers of emerging variants of the coronavirus, and emerging from the form of the Delta variant called AY.1 is raising global concern. Five of India's leading laboratories since May have submitted data to the Global Initiative on Sharing All Influenza Data on its presence in India. Public Health England, a body in the United Kingdom, has said that of the 63 genomes in its repository as of June 7, 6 were from India. AY.1 or B.1.617.2.1 is a variant of Delta and has all its characteristic mountains along with one called K417N. This particular one has previously been identified in the Beta variant, which is an international variant of concern as it is highly infectious and known to reduce vaccine potency. The Delta variant is reportedly the most prevalent coronavirus variant in India and comprises close to a third of the genome samples sourced from those with no international travel history processed until late May. An additional concern with the K417N mutation is that some studies have found that it was associated with resistance to a newly developed monoclonal antibody treatment drug cocktail, casirivimab and indevimab, for those assessed with a moderate to severe disease risk. Scientists have said that AY.1 marks the continued evolution of the Delta variant. The Delta variant has become globally prominent in the same way as a mutation D614G increased the infectivity of coronavirus in March and April last year. Coronaviruses are marked by convergent evolution, some defining mutations that emerge in different strains from around the world start to become more common in subsequent variants. These mutations are beneficial to the virus and, through a process of natural selection, help it infect human cells more efficiently as well as thwart defensive antibodies. Evolution is an incessant process and it is impossible to forecast if SARS-CoV-2 will become a part of the human ecosystem, less contagious and manifesting in sporadic outbreaks but ever present or buckling into oblivion under the force of counter-offensive measures such as vaccines, masks, lockdowns. As the virus and people continue to be engaged in a dialectical battle, humanity has a tool that has been absent in previous global pandemics, that of rapid genome sequencing. Several countries, including India, have the infrastructure and the resources to track threatening mutations. Unfortunately, the potency of a mutation to increase infectivity in a region can only be known retrospectively. However, this knowledge can help improve vaccines and enable researchers to perform quick tweaks or, in the parlance of software, develop upgraded patches that can blunt the threat from emergent variants. India has chosen to restrict genome sequencing studies to 10 government labs and not involve private labs, some of which have the capability and expertise. Time and again, the country has suffered the consequences of a lack of preparedness. It is important now to downplay the seriousness of the threat.